Hey everybody, welcome back to today's mukbang and fast food review. We do these every Saturday or every Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And so we welcome you guys to the channel and hope you guys enjoy this. Right now, I'm in Marietta, Ohio, and it is really hot out today. And I'm sitting here outside of McDonald's, which is where we're going to do our review. And it's really hot in my vehicle, but the traffic on the driver's side, there's a highway out here, so the traffic out here is really loud. So if I roll down my driver's side window, I'm going to get the highway traffic, and it's going to be too loud for the video. There's a vehicle, a truck sitting on my passenger side, and he's got his engine running. So I've got the windows up in this hot car, or this hot van, so that I can do this video. So hopefully this guy in the truck next to me is going to leave before long, and then I can roll down the window, and hopefully we won't pick up the traffic from the driver's side from the interstate, or from the highway heading to the interstate. But anyway, welcome to the video. I do a poll each week as to where I should do my review and fast food mukbang for the upcoming week. And during Lenten season leading up to Easter, we're specializing and focusing specifically on fish. So I'm giving options in the poll as to whether you think I should go to A, B, C, or D fast food location and try their fish, whatever it may be, a fish sandwich or another product that just has to be a fish product. But anyway, the poll that won this week, McDonald's won with 43% of the vote. And then Wendy's was the second place with 14% of the vote. And we also had Arby's was a contender in here that got several votes. But we already did Arby's fish a couple weeks ago. So I'm not going to do the same review twice. And so for those that wanted to see the Arby's review, I'll put the link in the description down below. And you can head over and watch that video if you're wanting to see me do the Arby's. But anyway, today the winner is McDonald's, and I thought, while we're at it, let's just go ahead and do Wendy's also, do the first and second place winners. So today we are going to be doing the McDonald's 2 for $6 fish fillet special. They've got this special going on. It's just their plain fish sandwich or fish fillet, and it's 2 for $6. Now, in today's economy, that's a bargain. Because nowadays fast food sandwiches cost $8-9, and that's just ridiculous. But it's industry wide. Fast food anywhere you go is going to be that much price. So when you can get 2 sandwiches for $6, and they're full size sandwiches, not these little junior sandwiches, that's a good bargain, assuming that the food is good. So we're going to go ahead and try out today the 2 for $6 fish fillet from McDonald's. And also we're going to try from Wendy's their special Crispy Panko Breaded Fish. And that panko is spelled P-A-N-K-O. So we're trying their Crispy Panko Breaded Fish sandwich. And I didn't even know it existed until I went through the drive-thru and I saw it advertising on their sign. I asked them what was on it, and they said it's a cheese sandwich. And in fact, on the receipt, all it says is fish cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about what I found out about these. First of all, let's talk about the service. I went to Wendy's first, went through the drive-thru, and they took my order. Again, I had questions about the menu items, and they answered them quickly and efficiently. Thumbs up to the staff for being knowledgeable and answering my questions properly, and they were very friendly with the way that they interacted with me. So thumbs up on the service there. So I went ahead and ordered, and then I pulled around, and they asked me to pull up to the second window, or actually not to the second window, to the door, on the front door on the side. And I understand why they do that. Is if they think your order's going to take a little bit longer, they ask you to pull up so that the person behind you can pull up to the window, and they can get their food and go on, so they don't have to wait just because you're waiting. So you got one person waiting instead of two. I think that's a great policy. This pop-up window keeps coming up. So excuse me, when I lean forward, I'm getting rid of that pop-up window that keeps obscuring my video. But anyway, my screen. But anyway, they asked me to pull up, and I was a little bit confused as to why they were asking me to pull up, because there was nobody behind me. I can see asking you to pull up when there's somebody waiting behind and you want to serve that person, but there was no vehicles in the line behind me. And so all that really accomplished was making it longer time for them to walk clear to the other end of the building and bring my food out to me. So where it may take, if I was still sitting at that window, then it would take them maybe 10 seconds to walk from the counter over to that window and hand it to me. But with me pulling up to the front door up there, it might take them an extra minute and a half to walk all the way across the building and come outside and around the corner to give me the food. So you're adding more time that it takes them to get the food to me, all to serve the person in line behind me, but there's no person in line behind me. You see what I'm saying? So I get the policy and I understand why they do it, and it's a good thing to do. But just to all you fast food restaurants out there that have drive-thrus, just a bit of advice that I would give all of you is when you're going through the drive-thru and you have you have to wait a little bit for somebody's order to be ready. Don't make them pull up to where you have to walk outside to give them the food, unless there's somebody in line behind them. If there's somebody waiting in line, absolutely have them pull up. But don't have them pull up and waste more time walking the product clear outside to the customer when you don't have to, when there's nobody waiting. And so that's just my rant for the day. Other than that, the service was great. Like I said, they answered my questions and everything, and provide fast, friendly service. While I was waiting in line, it took about 3 minutes, I estimated, from the time that they asked me to pull up, and by the time the guy brought my food out to me. So in those 3 minutes, 4 cars behind me got their food and went on, drove around me and went on their way. And so their average was maybe 10, 20 seconds each that they had to sit and wait for the food once they got to the window. So while my order took a little bit longer, probably because of what my order was. It was this special item that probably they went ahead and fixed fresh. They didn't have any just sitting around. Some of the other, the ones behind me, they probably got their food quicker because it was probably, I'm just guessing, it was probably a more common item that they already had some prepared, and they could just take the order and within a couple seconds have it ready for them. So that's great. Where I had to wait a couple minutes, they didn't. So I'm not knocking the speed of the drive-thru. In fact, having me pull up was a good thing to do for the cars behind me. But then again, don't make the cars pull up if there's not anybody waiting. And when I first pulled in, there wasn't anybody waiting behind me. So it's a good thing I did pull up, but I would have waited. If I was around the drive-thru, I would have waited until that first car appeared behind and then asked to move up, because there was a good chance that I wouldn't have to move up at all in order to get the product if that first vehicle hadn't arrived. But anyway, service was great, and I've got the food here, and we're going to try that a little bit. That's the Crispy Panko Breaded Fish from Wendy's. So then I went over to McDonald's, went through their drive-thru, and that's at 500 Pike Street. Again, the Wendy's restaurant is at 105 Pike Street in Marietta, and great service there. Went over to the McDonald's, went through their drive-thru. This is at 500 Pike Street, same street. So if you're wanting to choose between the two, you've only got like just less than a mile between the two. And so went through the drive-thru, ordered the 2-for-6 fish fillet, and I specifically asked them, do you have any other fish besides that, or is that just the only fish you've got? And they said, yeah, that's the only one we got. I'm like, that's fine, that's all I want. I just wanted, if they were offering another fish sandwich, I might as well kill two birds with one stone here while doing my review and review both fish sandwiches at the same time, which is why I'm doing the Wendy's and McDonald's both at the same time, is to compare them. So anyway, I pulled up to the drive-thru and placed my order, and they had me pull around just like Wendy's did. However, I only had to wait about 1 minute when I pulled up at this one, from the time I pulled up to the window where they deliver food to the time when they actually brought the food out to the second window. And in that period of time, one car came through, got their food, and went on their way. So again, speedy service. I understand they made you pull up because it's a fish item, might take a little bit longer to prepare fresh than some of the other items. So no complaints about that. Very comparable in the service, I would say. So let's go ahead and check out what we got. Now, I went ahead and looked up on their websites, and I'll go ahead and describe you. There we go. All right, I apologize for that. I hope you guys are still here, and if you lost the stream, I hope you get it back. My phone apparently overheated. Has a problem with these older cell phones that you use to record your videos on. The slightest amount of data that you use on these phones, it takes up a lot of RAM and a lot of memory, and your phone overheats, and that's what happened here. So I just rolled down my window, drove down the interstate a few miles, holding the phone out the window, let it cool down. So there's a tip for you. If your phone overheats, and you're on the road sort of thing, that's something you can do. Is just roll down your hi Joel, glad you made it back up. Yeah, the stream cut off because my phone died from overheating. So that's a tip for you. If your phone's overheated while you're on the go, maybe in a vehicle, just roll down your window, hold the phone out, and drive down the interstate a few miles, and that'll cool it down. So that's what I did, and it let me pick the stream back up where I left off. So that's the first time this has happened to me. I've only been using live stream for about a month now, so it's all new to me. We're learning as we go. So anyway, as I was starting to say, we've got descriptions of the items. And so first we have the Wendy's Crispy Panko Fish Sandwich. And it says here on their website, Wendy's.com, it says Wendy's Crispy Panko Fish Sandwich is coming back to menus nationwide beginning Monday, February 12th. Well, today is only, today's March 3rd. So I guess that was a month ago. Here, I was thinking March 12th for some reason. So anyway, this is something that started back on February 12th. Today's March 3rd, so they've had it just under a month now. And to describe this sandwich, it says it's a limited time sandwich, of course. And it says it's wild-caught Alaskan pollock filet. And it has a similar flavor to cod with a white, flaky meat. And it goes on and describes where they get it from and all the stuff about the conservationalist stuff, but we don't need that information for this review. If you're interested, you can go to Wendy's.com and get some more specific information on that if that's something that interests you. But it says the wild-caught Alaska pollock fillet is coated in a crispy panko breading, Panko, topped with lettuce, a slice of American cheese, pickles, and creamy dill tartar sauce, all served on a premium bun. So that sounds good. It's not just a plain fish sandwich, but they've got this crispy panko bread. I'm not sure what that is, but we're going to find out. And it's got lettuce, tomato, cheese. Wait, no, not tomato. It's got lettuce, cheese, pickles, and tartar sauce. And the way they describe their tartar sauce is a creamy dill tartar sauce and on the premium bun. So anyway, that's the Alaskan pollock sandwich they've got here, the crispy panko fish sandwich. And further down the description, it comments that it has savory notes of garlic and onion in the fish. So when you're tasting this, eating this fish, you might get hints of garlic and onion. Personally, I like garlic and I like onion both, so that's going to give it that distinct flavor. So it's not just going to be a plain fish sandwich. Let's see. So I was curious, what is panko? So I looked that up also. And on foodnetwork.com, it says, panko are Japanese breadcrumbs made from steamed, crustless loaves of bread that are processed into flakes and then dried, resulting in large flaky breadcrumbs that don't pack together when coating food so that the food stays crispier longer. So here's your trivia question of the day. In Japanese, pan means bread and ko means crumbs. So panko in Japanese literally means breadcrumbs, which is what their panko bread is made out of. And so it says the main difference between panko and other breadcrumbs, like we would normally see used in the United States, is that panko is made from steamed, crustless loaves of bread, whereas traditional breadcrumbs are made from traditional loaves of bread. So there's your answer for that. So that's what panko is. And we've got our sandwiches here. We're going to go ahead and try them. On the other hand, we've got the McDonald's fish fillet. And McDonald's.com describes it as a crispy fish fillet patty made with wild-caught Alaskan pollock. So they're both the same type of fish on these two sandwiches. And it says it's on melty American cheese, and it's topped with a creamy McDonald's tartar sauce, all served on a soft steamed bun. So the fish fillet from McDonald's doesn't have the extra toppings that the other one has, the specialty one from Wendy's. But it's the same type of fish with cheese and tartar sauce. So you got fish, cheese, tartar sauce, bun. And the other one, the one from Wendy's, has the fish, lettuce, cheese, tartar sauce, bun, and pickles. So the extra that the Wendy's one has is the lettuce and the pickles that it doesn't have on McDonald's. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and try them, see what we got here. So we'll try the Wendy's one first. And price-wise, the Wendy's one is $4.39. Now, some other places around the country, it's more expensive. It's like $6 and something. But $4.39 for the one sandwich at Wendy's in Ohio, in Marietta. So if you get two of them, that's $8.78 compared to McDonald's, the 2 for $6. So you're comparing $6 at McDonald's for 2 fish to $8.78 at Wendy's for 2 fish. Now let's go ahead and see how they look and how they taste and see if the extra money is worth it for the Wendy's. So let's go ahead and get out the Wendy's here. This is the Wendy's Crispy Panko Breaded Fish. Here it comes wrapped in the aluminum foil packaging. Okay, looks like normal size fish sandwich. You see here. Here's what it looks like. You got your square piece of fish there on the bun. Bottom side of the bun is dry. You can see there it's toasted. On the top, see that melted cheese? That's what I'm talking about. Those of us that like cheese, that's the stuff. You can see how it's melted on there. That's how I like it. It's when the cheese is melted. So it's American cheese melted on there. And then there's the lettuce. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pickles and tartar sauce on the top. So let's go ahead and try it and see what we got. That lettuce, it's the one. It's not the shredded lettuce. It's the one piece, and I like that because the shredded lettuce, to me, I think is messy, and I don't like messy. But this lettuce, when I took that first bite into it, it had that solid thickness to the texture, like kind of like when you bite into a piece of lettuce and you get that middle section that's thicker and harder. And that's what I tasted right there. Let's try another bite. That's better. Okay, let's try. The flavors are kind of blended together well, but it's hard to distinguish what's what. I'm going to go ahead and taste the bun here. Okay, the bun is soft and flaky. That's good. The lettuce, of course, I just commented on that. The lettuce is fine. No complaints about the lettuce. Let's try one of the pickles. Got a small one here. Crunchy. Not overbearing. It's not too sweet. My dad prefers sweet pickles. I prefer the kosher, like dill pickles sort of things. So this isn't excessively sweet. So whereas it is a sweet pickle, it's going to appeal to those like sweet pickles. But I think those are like those me that prefer the kosher, that doesn't have quite the sharpness to it. I think they're going to appreciate these. Well, these are decent pickles. Try another one. Nice crunchy texture. Very good. Okay, let's take another bite. See the grill marks there? Grill marks. Actually, that's not grill marks. I'm sorry, from the camera angle, it looked like grill marks. It's just the flaky fish. It's flaking apart into pieces. Sorry about that. It looked like grill marks, but it's not. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and try just a piece of fish by itself. See if I can get a flavor of that taste of that fish. All right, it's got a good flavor. Fish isn't bad. Overall, I'd say this is a good sandwich. I'd say I'd give it a 6.5 or a 7. As of the fish that we've tried so far, I'd still say that the Captain D's is the best so far. I still haven't had any fish that we've tried that's been better than the Captain D's. So that's good, but this is good. I'm going to go with a solid 7 on this. But the combination of those crispy pickles really brings it through. It gives it an edge, I think. I'm not a huge fan of pickles on sandwiches. But like I said, these pickles are crispy. They're crunchy. They're solid. They're not soggy. And the flavor isn't overbearing for those that don't like the sweetness of pickles. And combined with the other ingredients on this sandwich, that's a very good fish sandwich. Even though the fish itself, I prefer the Captain D's, and I think a large reason for that is the breading. You can't go wrong with the Captain D's breading. And so that's why it gets the edge on this. But as far as chicken or fish sandwiches go, this is top notch. This is a very good fish sandwich. too bad that this is just, excuse me. It's too bad that this is just a seasonal item. This is something that I would probably eat year round. If I had to go like shopping for a fast food restaurant that had a fish sandwich that I would want to eat regularly, I think this would probably be it. You know, if you were wanting to run through the drive-thru and just get you one sandwich, not necessarily a meal. And of course, you can taste the American cheese melted on there. Really brings out that cheesy flavor. I initially said 6.5 to a 7. This is definitely a solid 7. Maybe even a 7.5. This is a really good sandwich. So there we go. That was the Wendy's Crispy Panko Breaded Fish Sandwich. $4.39 each. Or if you get two of them, it's $8.78. So I think that's a good value. Good value for the money. Again, I didn't get any fries or anything. I did fries before. Oh, shoot. I should have got McDonald's fries when I was going through, because I was going to compare them. I'll have to do that next time. Next time I go to McDonald's, I'll get their fries and compare those to the others as well. I'm sorry. I was just thinking about getting the fish only, and I didn't get the fries and compare them to the others. But I will in a future video. So remind me of that and watch for it. And I will do that, I promise. But anyway, very good sandwich. I think it's a bargain for the price and also for the quality of the sandwich itself. Very good tasting. I'm giving it a thumbs up, definitely. Okay, so now while we're got that out of the way, let's move on to the McDonald's. They've got this interesting box here. It's got some anime type drawings on here. Those of you that aren't familiar with that, it's a Japanese drawing style that they use in their cartoons and comic books and stuff. When I was younger, I was big into comic books, still am to a certain extent, but I've seen my share of manga style cartoons, and they're distinctive from the characters generally have larger eyes set in the face, and kind of a generic and distinctive type of shape to the characters and stuff, but and overly exaggerated features. But they've got this little cartoon thing on here, so if you're interested in that sort of thing, wraps all around the package. They've got here page 1, and the interesting thing is the McDonald's logo is upside down on there, the upside down M. And that's because in Japan, I guess that's the way it would look. It would be upside down. And also in Japanese, you read from right to left instead of left to right, as we do in the United States. And so a lot of times when you read one of these comic books that was made in Japan, it might get some confusing for Western readers, because you do have to read it from right to left. The sentences in the bubble are actually written from left to right, so it reads normally, but you read your panels from right to left. And so that could be confusing, because in the United States we read it from left to right. But anyway, it's got this wrapped all around the thing. It says page 1 here for the first one, so you know where to start. And then page 2. Well, actually, that's the second. That must be 1.5, because on the back it says page 2 up here. Okay, and on the sides it's got introducing you to the characters and the story, and on the other side it's advertising Chicken McNuggets perfect with McDonald's sauce. It says all new McDonald's sauce is inspirationally good, savory, spicy, tangy, mouth-watering. So that's something I haven't tried yet. Apparently they've got this new, they're calling it McDonald's sauce. So if you're not wanting the ketchup or the mustard or their typical like sauces that you would normally get with chicken McNuggets, you can try their new McDonald's sauce. And so they're advertising that on here. Anyway, we got that out of the way. Just a little trivia there for those that are interested in that catchy little thing. And also on the receipt, you can see they got the little pictures and the cart comics on the back of your receipt too. So that's something to give to your kids if you're going through the drive-thru or whatever. You can give those to the kids to write on or play with or whatever, to read. Anyway, moving on. Let's go ahead and try it. This is the McDonald's 2 filet of fish, 2 for $6. And it comes in a box like this. Open up the box. Size-wise, you can see here, sandwiches just about the same size as the one from Wendy's. You got the soft bun, and that is a soft bun. Feels nice and fresh. Again, nothing on the bottom. This one isn't toasted. You can see the bun is white there. It's not toasted like the Wendy's one is. It's got the square piece of fish, same type of fish, the Alaskan pollock. And it's got a slice of cheese on the bottom underneath, which is kind of odd to me. I would think that you'd put the fish on top of the cheese on top of the sandwich. But on top, they've got the tartar sauce, which also I would put on the top. So I guess that makes sense that if you want to separate the cheese from the tartar sauce, why not? You know, put the cheese on the bottom. The only thing is, when you melt the cheese, like I like it, and like they did here, you can see the cheese is melted there. And so that's good. But when the cheese melts on a sandwich, you want it to melt down over the meat that's on it, whether it be a burger or fish or chicken or whatever it may be. You want the the cheese to melt over that, not just drip off the bottom of the bun. And so the only thing you have it on is the bun and on your table. But anyway, that's just my own personal thought on that. But I guess I can see why they would want to do that in order to keep it separate from the tartar sauce. So maybe you can get a more distinct flavor that way, taste. So I'm going to go ahead and take a bite of the fish itself before I take the sandwich to compare. Okay. It's not bad. Pretty much standard fish flavor to it. And again, it doesn't have that panko breadcrumbs. And I've never had that before on the Wendy's one, but that was good. And it gave it a real distinctive flavor. So I might give the edge on the flavor to the Wendy's one because of those breadcrumbs they used to make it. Okay, let's take a bite. Now, here's where this one might get the edge. That is soft and flaky fish. The other had slightly better taste, I think, because of the seasonings they use and everything. But this fish is soft. This fish is softer than the other one. Flaky, delicious. Here you can see tartar sauce on the top. That's a solid, good fish sandwich. And again, not very many ingredients on it. It's just the cheese and the tartar sauce. So if it had a couple extra things, like maybe lettuce and pickles like the other sandwich had, they'd be comparable. But this really doesn't need it, I don't think. I don't think it needs the extras. It's solid, good sandwich without them. Mm. Got a good taste of the tartar sauce there. That tartar sauce is good. Mm. Very good. Let's go ahead and finish this up, and then I'll do a quick review recap. Mm. Very good. All right, good stuff. Okay. Well, I got 2 sandwiches left over. We'll hold up 2 bags. We've got the Wendy's versus McDonald's. Okay. And we got, and I'll hold these up for the thumbnail. These are the other 2 sandwiches that are left. And really, those 2 sandwiches kind of filled me up. So I may just go ahead and hang on to these for later. This is for the thumbnail. Show it with the... Alright, I think that one's going to get it. Alright, so we got that out of the way. I'll put that as a thumbnail later. Okay, so comparing these 2 sandwiches, again, the service was comparable. I had to wait a little bit longer for the Wendy's, but like I said, that was because it's a specialty sandwich. I think they wanted it to be fresh, and it wasn't just laying around sort of thing. So you got your pros and cons as far as speed versus quality. And so depending on, how much of a hurry you're in, or whether you'd prefer to have your food be fresher and not waiting on a table for a few minutes or seconds before it comes to you, that's the judgment call. So we got Wendy's at 105 Pike Street in Marietta, and McDonald's at 500 Pike Street in Marietta. We had the Crispy Panko Breaded Fish at Wendy's, which is a fish and cheese sandwich at $4.39 each. Very solid sandwich. I loved it. If that was a regular menu item, I would get it regularly. That'd be if I was going looking for fish, that would be the one I'd go to. I'd give it a slight edge over the McDonald's. It's got the better flavor, I think, overall. But then again, it's a specially limited time sandwich, whereas the McDonald's one is just a regular menu item. So it's almost unfair to compare the 2, because you're comparing a deluxe sandwich at Wendy's to a common menu item at McDonald's. But again, they are comparable because it's the same type of fish. The fish fillets are about the same size. The different type of bread and different toppings. That's where you get your distinction. But I was really pleased with that crispy panko breaded fish from Wendy's, and $4.39. I think that's a bargain. That's a decent price for a sandwich these days. And then McDonald's, we had the 2 for $6 fish fillet. It was cheaper, where you break it down, that's $3 a piece compared to the $4.39. You got an extra $1.39 for the Wendy's sandwich. and I didn't calculate up what percentage that would be. I can't do it in my head, but you can do it if you want to. But that's that's a decent difference in price. But when you consider the difference in flavor between the two sandwiches, that the specialty one has the special type of breading, has the extra toppings, and has, I think, a more solid, the McDonald's one has a solid flavor. It's a good, solid fish sandwich. But the one at Wendy's, I would say, is worth a little bit extra money because of the extra that they put into a deluxe sandwich that you don't put into a regular menu item. So, is it worth that much of a difference? I don't know. That's up to you guys to decide for yourselves. Or personally, if I was in a hurry and just wanted something to eat, a solid fish sandwich that I could go ahead and eat on the go and not really focus too much on trying to savor it, sort of thing, I think I would go with McDonald's, because you can't beat that price, 2 for $6. And it does have a good, solid flavor to it, even with just the plain ingredients of just only having toppings of cheese and tartar sauce. Solid, good sandwich. So if you're on the go in a hurry, you want a couple of sandwiches, run through the drive-thru and get that 2 for $6 special. However, I definitely recommend that while the Wendy's is still offering their Crispy Panko Breaded Fish, go through their drive-thru, order it, and try it before it goes off the menu. I think you'll be you'll be pleased with it. I was pleasantly surprised with it as how good the flavor is. The McDonald's rating on scale of 1 to 10, McDonald's fish fillets, I would give a 6, and the Wendy's Crispy Panko Breaded Fish, I would give a solid 7, maybe even a 7.5. So, but when you're comparing prices, that factors in as well. That gives the McDonald's a little bit of a boost. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. We've got just a few more minutes here before we have to close it out for the day. But that's basically my review. You can comment down below if you've ever had these sandwiches, if you agree with me, or if you maybe prefer one or another. Or maybe, let's get that out of the way while we're on it. As I said, these were the winners of the poll for this week. Where should I go eat next week? And you can vote in the comments down below. You can vote in the stream right now if you're watching this live. But once this comes up as a replay video, I'll have a comment posted, a pin to the top of the post where it asks the poll question, and you can answer it there. But where do you think I should eat next week? And again, keep in mind that we're focusing on fish items right now. So we've already done Arby's, we've already done Long John Silver's, we've already done Captain D's, and today we did McDonald's and Wendy's. So that's 5 locations out of the way where I've already tried their fish products. So what we have left is Burger King. We've done a Burger King review already, but not one with their fish. So if you want me to try the Burger King fish, that's one option. We've got Dairy Queen. I'm sure they've got a fish sandwich. We've got Napoli's. I know they've got a fish sandwich that they're offering. I saw it advertised on their sign. So that's Burger King, Dairy Queen, Napoli's, or possibly Subway is one I thought of, which isn't your traditional fish type sandwich, but they do have like a tuna sub that you can get. So if you wanted to pick Subway, we could try that. And there's a new sub place in town that just opened up within the last few months called Jersey Mike's. And I had never heard of it before until it moved into town and I started getting the flyers in the mail for it. But apparently it's comparable to Subway. I don't know what the price differences are or the quality of the meats and stuff or the bread and everything. But everybody's saying that it's very similar to Subway. So this is a little bit of competition between the two. So I guess if you want to, you could recommend Jersey Mike's. And I could try that out. But anyway, let's use those as our options this week. Go ahead and comment either in the live stream in the chat. Or if you're watching this later on a rebroadcast, you can comment down below in the comments section to the pinned comment. Where should I eat fish next weekend? Okay, option A is Burger King. B is Subway. C is Dairy Queen. D, Napoli's. And E, other. And then you can fill, if you pick other, you can fill in whatever you can think of where they would be serving fish on a Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock, where I could go through drive-thru and eat it here in the vehicle and give you my review. Anyway, comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and share the channel with your friends so that they can join us also. Now that we're done with that, just a few comments before we leave. I commented in my first live stream that I am a Christian preacher, and so I don't talk a lot about my faith on this channel. This is mainly for food, and so that's what we're going to discuss. We're not going to really get into a lot of politics, religion, that kind of stuff, although those are important topics to me. This isn't the time and place to get into depth in those sort of things. This is right now, this channel is dedicated to food, so that's what our focus is going to be on. However, I did want to share with you that I almost didn't do the live stream today. I seriously considered postponing it till next week, just canceling this week's stream, because my mother is in the hospital right now. She had a stroke this past Tuesday, and she's in intensive care unit right now, and she's been there these past several days. So I just wanted to share with you Joel, Jersey Mike's tuna fish sandwich. Okay, there's a vote for Jersey Mike's tuna fish sandwich. Again, comment down below if you want to throw in your 2 cents worth. So we got one vote already. But anyway, my mother is in the hospital, so if any of you out there are praying people, if you are people of faith, I would appreciate your prayers and concerns and thoughts in this time for my family. She's doing well under the circumstances. It could have gone a lot worse than it did. Thank God we got her to the hospital quickly, and they were really attentive, got her to the location we needed her to be at, where they could give her the best care. She's in Columbus, Ohio. I'm not going to specify which hospital or anything like that. Don't want to get too specific here in public. But basically, she's got a long road ahead of her to recovery. Yeah, she's in pretty bad shape right now. But we're optimistic. She did have surgery on her brain on Wednesday, and the doctors are optimistic. They said it did go well. But they did give us beforehand the worst case scenario. So going into it, that's all we could think of. Those 4 hours that she was in surgery, all we could think of was the worst case scenario. But she came out of the surgery great. It went well. And so we're pleased with that. She is having difficulty because the right side of her brain's damaged. So the left side of her body isn't responding correctly like it normally would. Her limbs are basically useless right now on her left side. And of course, my thoughts on that is, and I talked about this in church this morning. As I said, I'm a pastor, and so I talked about it this morning. But one of my thoughts about that is we are so used to sensing things with our eyes, our ears, our 5 senses. Basically, they indicate to us what is true, what is real. And so we've all probably heard that phrase, are you going to trust me or your own lying eyes? And that's kind of an ironic statement, because normally when somebody would say that to you, that would be an indication that they are gaslighting you. They're lying to you, because what you see with your own eyes, what you hear with your own ears, you trust that more than you would trust somebody telling you that what you're seeing, you're not really seeing, or what you think you're hearing, you're not really hearing. And so in today's technology of artificial intelligence, AI, and deep fakes and all that kind of stuff, we're getting to a point in our society where you can't really trust your eyes or your ears anymore, just right off the bat. that video that looks so convincing might not be real. It might be a fake. That politician that you see in that video saying something controversial, maybe they never said that. Maybe that's a computer generated video. And along those same lines, we have trained ourselves, rightly so, to trust our senses. That's what they're there for. And so when somebody normally comes up to you and says, are you going to trust me or your own lying eyes? I'm going to trust my own eyes. Obviously, I'm going to trust what I see, what I hear. I'm not going to trust some stranger come up to me and tell me you're not seeing what you're seeing and you're not hearing what you're hearing. So this opened up a new, in this age of technology where you can't trust your eyes and ears anymore, this added a new dimension to it for me. Thinking about my mom going through that situation that she's in, to where she can't trust her eyes or her ears or her feelings. When they're doing their physical therapy with her, trying to get her raise her right leg, she does it. She lifts her left leg and touches the bottom of their hand. When they tell her to do the left leg, it feels to her like that left leg is moving, but it's not. She tries to move it and she feels like it's moving. And the doctor explained it. It's similar to a phantom pain. You think about people that have lost a limb, and I think of the drummer for Def Leppard is a prime case. If you ever hear his story, it's an incredibly inspiring story. Rick Allen, drummer for Def Leppard. Look that up sometime. Google it, or look up some YouTube videos, interviews with him about how when he was in that tragic car accident and lost his arm, and he said the first thing he thought was, I'm a drummer. How am I going to live my life as a drummer? That's who I am. It's not just what I do, it's who I am. How am I going to live the rest of my life without my arm? He basically thought my life was over. But the inspiring thing about it is that his friends and family all supported him and encouraged him to the point to where he determined to himself that he was going to play drums again. And so he developed, on his own, this elaborate foot pedal system that a lot of these companies today are imitating and expanding on. But he basically started that. He created this elaborate foot system to where he could play the drums with just one arm and both his feet. And when you listen to their studio albums where he played, or you watch him play live, it's amazing. It sounds just like any other drummer that has all four limbs. And so that's just a little bit of encouragement for the day, that no matter what obstacle you're facing, you can get through. Faith is an important aspect of that. Faith in Jesus. I talked a lot about that this morning. And if you want to head over to my ministry channel, at some point I'm going to have that video up as well. It's not up yet, but I'll put a link later on once I get that up, so that you can go hear those comments as well, but about how that factors into it. But anyway, this was an example of somebody who had that phantom pain, that he could feel that leg being there, or the arm being there, even though it wasn't. Now my mother's going through that, where she can't even trust her sensations, her feelings, that I feel my leg, I know it's moving. And, you imagine somebody saying, are you going to trust me or your own lying feelings? Just like, are you going to trust me or your own lying eyes, your lying ears? And normally we would think, well, heck yes, I'm going to trust my own eyes. I can see that this is what's really happening. And I can hear that this is what's really happening. I can feel it. I know it. And you can't tell me that it's not happening. See, she's in that situation now where she can't sense that reality because of the damage to her brain. And it gives me a whole new appreciation for the feelings and senses that God has given us to be able to use our sight, our hearing, our sense of touch and taste. And the taste, here with our food channel and food reviews and stuff, how blessed are we to have the ability to taste these foods? And it's not something bland to where you have to eat the same thing over and over every day and not enjoy the taste of foods on your tongue. Or to be able to see the beauty of creation all around us and all that this world has to offer in its beauty, and to hear the wonderful sound of music. And I imagine, if I ever lost my sight, how horrible that would be to be able to have to feel around and never and always be in darkness. Or if I lost my sense of sound, of hearing, to never be able to hear music again except in my imagination. And having had and enjoyed my vision and my hearing and the beauty of art and the creation and everything and the joy of music and just conversations that we rely on our voice, our hearing, and our sight in order to communicate with each other. And to lose one of those would be devastating. And so it's just given me a whole new perspective to realize that she's going through this, to where because of this she's not able to trust the sensations that her brain is telling her that she's feeling, that it's not really real. And so I just appreciate your prayers for her as she's going through these difficult times, for my family, particularly my dad. He's always been real strong, and to see him going through this difficult time is it gives me a new appreciation also for how strong he's always been for us all these years growing up as children. As be a man. Your men aren't supposed to cry, that sort of thing. And growing up with that vision of my dad being like a superhero, that person that's always able to face no matter what comes the way, and he's going to face it, and he's going to chase off the demons and the scary monsters under the bed, and as long as he's around, you've got nothing to fear. And to understand that even a man as strong as him, as he's always been for us, has emotions too, and maybe has kept them bottled up all those years, but to see those come out, just pray for my dad and my brothers as we're going through this as well. I have a strong faith. I always have. I talked about that this morning, how I don't have to be concerned about my faith wavering. I know where my faith is, and I thank God that he's given me that strong of a faith. And I know that no matter what happens, God loves her. She's safe in his hands, and he's going to watch over her. No matter what happens, it's all going to work out for the best. Whether he gives her a physical healing, which is what we're hoping and praying for, and we're optimistic about, or whether she ends up going home to be with him. Either way, it's going to work out, and I have faith in that. So please pray for my mom, to give her comfort and peace while she's going through this, and for my dad and my brothers as we're going through this, watching her and trying to be a positive support for her at this time. Anyway, I'm sorry to go on a rant. We're over an hour, but I just wanted to kind of touch base with you a little bit on that. That would be our kind of off-topic rant for the day. And again, thank you guys for your support, just for watching these videos, and hitting the like button is a huge thing that encourages me that there's people out there actually hearing what I'm saying, and I'm not just talking to myself. And so when you're able to join in on the live stream and comment in the chat, or watching it later, comment down below, that's an encouragement to me. So anyway, just your prayers are appreciated for my family at this time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to vote on the poll as to where I should eat next week, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again. Have a great week. Love you guys.